road trip. We welcome you inside Comerica Park. We're in downtown Detroit tonight. Beautiful night for baseball. Game 1 in this series featuring the Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba. Rod Allen, glad to have you with us for the first game in this series. Tigers coming back home, and they hope for better things, Rod. It was really a rocky road trip for Detroit. Probably should have taken at least 4 games on that road trip. Didn't work out that way, but coming back home, they played extremely well here.
Well, hopefully the offense gets going once again, because really the pitching and the defense have been there all season long. Brandon Inge said after yesterday's game, for whatever reason, when they're away from Comerica Park, they don't play with the same kind of confidence. They don't have the same kind of swagger, which you desperately need if you're going to win big league games on the road. This is what the Tigers have been able to do at Comerica Park. Their numbers are simply dominant, and Miguel Cabrera hitting close to 400 here at home.
And speaking of dominant, Justin Verlander is on the mound tonight for the Detroit Tigers. He's been dominant here in this ballpark, but he's also been dominant against this Orioles team in his career. So at least on paper, this looks like a pretty good matchup tonight.
Well, he's a legitimate stopper, and anytime he takes the mound for your team, you know you have a legitimate chance of winning a baseball game. He is 7-2 this year after a Tigers loss. And oh, by the way, the numbers on the right, they are staggering. He is in the Cy Young conversation right now as we speak with Roy Halladay. Zach Greinke has settled in just a little bit, so I'm talking about Verlander and Halladay. If Verlander continues to pitch the way that he has pitched for the better part of 2.5 months, he will win his first Cy Young Award. He's got some tremendous stuff.
Tigers and Orioles split a 4-game series back in May in Baltimore. They will start a series here tonight at Comerica Park. And smack dab in the middle of that Orioles lineup, Luke leads the Birds. Luke Scott hitting .500 against the Tigers. Stay with us. Tigers and O's next. Baltimore Orioles. You see his career record, and here is the lineup that he has turned in tonight here against the Tigers. That is brought to you by the Romani Eye Institute. And Brian Roberts will lead it off. He will play second base. Nolan Reimold, the rookie, is at left. Adam Jones having a fine year in center field. Nick Markakis, since the All-Star break, red hot. Aubrey Huff at first base. Ty Wiggins in at third. Luke Scott the DH. Matt Wieters will catch. Cesar Izturis is batting ninth and playing shortstop. Here is the Dodge scouting report on the right-hander, Justin Verlander.
He is, and he has been, the stopper for this Tigers team. After a loss, he is 7-2. Which is tremendous. He's also added a slider to go along with the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup. It's still a developing pitch for him, but he's thrown a few good ones the last few starts, and he is legitimately in that Cy Young Award conversation these days with the way that he's pitched for about 2.5 months now.
And he'll try and take the next step here tonight, and we are ready for baseball here this evening on an 80-degree night here in the Motor City. Brian Roberts leading it off, then Nolan Reimold and Adam Jones facing Verlander. The 1-0 is hit high in the air into right field and hit deep. Thomas going back to the wall, and just like that, the Orioles have taken a 1-0 lead on the leadoff home run by Brian Roberts. His 9th of the year. And Tigers fans unable even to settle into their seats yet.
Well, if you're the Orioles, you better get him early, because if you don't, once Justin settles in, it could be a long night. That's a fastball above the belt, right down the middle. Roberts sitting on a fastball, and he just caught it right, and Verlander supplied majority of that power.
Quick start for the Orioles. They lead 1-0, and here is Nolan Reimold. Strike one on Reimold. 281 hitter, 10 home runs, more than any rookie in the American League. And quickly Verlander gets ahead 0-2. Justin, in search of his 13th win, came in at 12-5. The 0-2 pitch on the way is inside, looked like an off-speed pitch. 1-2 the count. Verlander career 4-0 against these Baltimore Orioles. Breaking ball just off the plate. Verlander thought he had strike 3. It looked awfully close. 2-2. Breaking ball line to left. So the Orioles have started this game with back-to-back hits.
That was an absolute missile. When you throw the breaking ball with 2 strikes, because hitters are concentrating on staying back so they don't swing at a bad pitch, you've got to locate it a little bit better. That one was right down the middle, and boy, did Reimold hit a seed in the left.
1 on, nobody out, a run in. Here is the number 3 hitter, Adam Jones, having a terrific season for the Orioles. 18 home runs.
Birds come out swinging tonight.
There's the bouncing ball left side over the glove of Inge into left field. Hop right over his glove off to his left. And 3 consecutive Orioles have reached base in this game.
Well, apparently they've come out very aggressive. As we get a look at this last base hit by Jones, this ball took a wicked hop on Brandon. It would have been a double play had that ball stayed down.
They ruled it a base hit, so 3 straight hits.
But it looks like their game plan against Verlander is to swing early and to swing often, which you must do once he gets ahead of you. With the 3 out pitches that he does have, he can get you out rather easily.
Here's Nick Markakis, their cleanup hitter. A 5-game hitting streak for Markakis. First pitch in there for a strike. Up with the right hand goes C.B. Buckner.
It's a good idea. Throw a few changeups, throw a few breaking balls, get some of these Oriole hitters off of your fastball, at least early in counts.
Markakis 6th in the American League with his 73 RBI, so he's been among the best in the American League this year in driving in runs. He's had a pretty good run of it since the All-Star break, batting .324. And really, this Orioles team has been a very good team offensively. They're 3rd in the American League, so while the numbers don't indicate it in terms of wins and losses, this team can hit. And Verlander is finding that out right now. The first 3 men have reached. In fact, only the Angels have been better with men in scoring position.
That Angels team is on fire right now. They're doing everything right.
Just beat up on Minnesota 3 straight, didn't they?
In Minnesota.
Oh, and 1 on Markakis. Fastball missing away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Markakis has a real quiet hitting approach. Not a whole lot of movement in the batter's box. His hands a little higher this year than they have been in the past. He used to be right around his belt buckle, but the hands are up higher.
Here's another base hit to left field. Reimold coming to third. They're going to stop him there, and the Orioles have 4 straight hits to start this game.
We have not seen Verlander pitch in this kind of stress in the first inning of any game. But he also has the kind of stuff that he can pitch himself out of this jam, although it's a big one.
Well, Verlander gave up 6 hits in his last start, 6 hits in the start before that, and he's already given up 4 without recording an out. So the Orioles are coming out swinging the bat tonight. Aubrey Huff at 253 stands in. 3 for 12 this year against Tigers pitching. And there's strike 1.
If you're Verlander in this situation, really, you have to forget about Reimold, who's standing on third base with nobody out. You have to almost believe that he is going to score. But you do need to make a real good pitch to get the ground ball to get the double play here.
Shattered his bat, rolled to first base. Cabrera fires it to second. One relay, safe at first base.
Almost.
Verlander covering. It was really close. A bang bang play. Verlander thought they got the double play, but they get one.
Ball not hit real hard, but a real nice feed to Santiago by Cabrera. He takes his time to make sure he gives him a nice feed. Hits him right in the chest. And Santiago looking into the sun and also trying to hit Verlander, who was at the bag. Close play. Good hustle here by Huff. And the right call by Mike Everett.
Reimold scores, and 2-0 Orioles. Only 1 out with runners at first and third, so Verlander is getting the ground balls. That one looked like it might be 2. Here's Ty Wigginton. He puts it on the ground, and a diving try by Inge. It gets by him. This will score a run. Jones is in. Meanwhile, rumbling to third base is Huff, and the Orioles lead 3-0.
As you mentioned, swinging the bats really has not been the issue for the Baltimore Orioles. They scored 10 runs yesterday against the Boston Red Sox and lost that game. Another Baltimore Oriole first pitch swing in that one right past the dive of Brandon Inge.
3 runs on 5 hits. Men at second and third, and Wigginton has his 13th double as the Orioles make their presence felt early here in the Motor City tonight. Here's Luke Scott. He takes his rips 0-1. Scott, of course, in Baltimore has been absolutely on fire against Tigers pitching. We'll see how he does here in Detroit, but in his career he hits .500 against the Tigers.
Came into this game scuffling, and that's probably the only reason why Jim Leland not walking him intentionally right now with the base open.
Verlander wanted Laird to come on out to the mound. Scott is 6 for his last 47.
That would be scuffling.
But these numbers are the anti-scuffle. In 11 career games against Detroit, he's hit 10 home runs, and he has 21 RBIs. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. On deck, Matt Wieters, the rookie. Verlander needs the strikeout here, and he almost got it. Just missed outside. 1-2. Now, coming into this game, not many Orioles had hit well against Verlander. In fact, Roberts, Jones, Markakis, and Huff were a combined 116. That was their combined average against Verlander, and they've all done something in this inning. Scott just got a piece of it. Of course, Luke's name came up a lot right before the trading deadline, and of course linked to the Tigers, who were looking for a left-handed bat. And naturally, when you have a guy that has killed Tigers pitching, that's a name that comes up.
I think had he been swinging the bat a little bit better leading up to the All-Star break and the trade deadline, they probably would have been able to move him somewhere.
Lifted toward left field. That ball is slicing. It's going to be trouble, and it is down. It'll go to the wall. It gets 2 more runs in.
Wow.
Scott is on his way to second. He continues to torture Tigers pitching. And get this, it's 5-0 Orioles.
The catcher, number 15, Matt Peters.
What a start for Baltimore tonight. And Jim Leyland just absolutely can't believe it.
And Marcus had him played over in left center field. Looked like a little fading changeup with 2 strikes that Scott stayed on. And Marcus had to run a long way to get to it. Nothing he could do. Whatever the game plan was coming in against Baltimore, they need to make some adjustments here in the first.
A stunning first inning for Justin Verlander. And it all started with Brian Roberts hitting a home run to lead the ball game off. And it's kind of been downhill since. Verlander in 5 previous starts had given up 7 earned runs against the Orioles. He's given up 5 already in this inning with only 1 out. That's how much the numbers had been in his favor. Here's Matt Wieters. When the Tigers last saw him, he was making his big league debut. A much anticipated big league debut. Their #1 prospect. Five runs, 6 hits for the Orioles. Just underway here from Comerica Park, and a stunning beginning. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Wieters. Wieters, in fact, picked up his first big league hit off Justin Verlander. That was back at Camden Yards and made was a triple. And the 1-2. Orioles have to be feeling pretty good about themselves here. They've gotten some offense for Tillman, their starter tonight. Chris Tillman anticipating getting out to the mound and probably thinking, get me some more. There's a line drive to the left. Thames coming over. Wieters is out.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Tigers defense presented by your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. You got Granderson in center, and Thomas is in right. You know Marcus is in left. Inge at third. Santiago Polanco Cabrera. The remainder of the infield, Gerald Lair is back behind the plate tonight, and Justin Verlander is on the mound.
So the Orioles bat around here. The 9th man to bat in the inning, Cesar Izturis. Swinging on the first pitch, he rolls it to first base. And finally, the inning is over. What a start it was for Baltimore. 5 runs, 6 hits. The ship, and in the meantime, hope his lineup can get him some runs. It is brought to you by Big Boy tonight. Curtis Granderson leads it off in center. Placido Polanco at second base. Clete Thomas out in right field tonight. Miguel Cabrera is at first base. Carlos Guillen is at DH. Marcus Thames in left. Your bottom three, Inge, Laird, and Santiago. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Chris Tillman. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Chris is hoping the jitters are behind him. He made his first major league start 5 days ago, and when he made that start, he made it against Zach Greinke, so we thought it wasn't going to be easy tonight going up against another stud in Verlander, but he's got some room to work with as far as runs are concerned. And another baby bird, fifth starting rookie to make their debut in the big leagues this year for the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, the Tigers now have to start whittling away. Curtis Granderson leads it off. 3 for 15 in that series, just completed against Cleveland. Grandy batting .257. Driven in the air to center field and hit well. Jones on the run, still going. He can't get it over his head. Granderson hits the bag at second. He's coming to third. Curtis will hold up. Jones had trouble with it in center field. They thought about sending him, but with nobody out, G. Lamont held him up.
Looks like it's going to be one of those nights where the offenses come to life. Jones in center field, tremendous out there. Reminds me a lot of Devon White, who told center field beautifully in his career. That ball just missed the tip of his glove, but he does play shallow out there, and Granderson burned him that time.
5 triples for Curtis Granderson. And the Tigers are off and running. Now Polanco to try and get this run in.
Tillman has a fastball anywhere from 92 to 93. Occasionally he'll touch 95. They say he's got a good curveball, but he couldn't find that curveball when he got against the Royals his first start of the year.
That's down the right field line, and that's a fair ball. This will get a run in. Polanco motoring to second base. Here comes a throw, not in time. It skitters all the way to third, and the Tigers have a triple and a double to start their first.
Anytime the ball hit the right field, you better get on your horse. Markakis has got an outstanding throwing arm out there, and he loves to throw. I like the aggressiveness of the Tigers offense here in the first against the rookie Tillman. Polanco gets a fastball at the top of the strike zone and simply trying to hit a fly ball to right field, gets himself a double and a ribby.
47 RBIs for Placido. A rip-roaring start to this one here. The Orioles get 5. The Tigers have come back with a triple and a double.
All of a sudden, Comerica Park has turned into a hitter-friendly yard, where it had always been known as a real good pitcher's ballpark.
Here is Clete Thomas. Tigers didn't have an extra base hit yesterday, did they?
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, and now they've gotten a double and a triple.
You got to go all the way back to 2004. The last 2 consecutive games, the Tigers offense did not record an extra base hit.
Of course, they lost 2 out of 3 in that series against Cleveland.
If you're Thomas, you have to continue to play the game the right way. Now you've got a runner on second. You've got nobody out. You got a real good count to hit in right here, which means you should get a fastball. Try to pull that ball through the right side of the infield to get yourself a base hit and an RBI. And if you do not get a hit, at least you get Polanco to third. Even though you're down by 4, play the game the right way.
Missed it low, and now the count goes to 3-0 on Thomas. Two teams have come out swinging the bats tonight. They are combined 8 for 11 so far. Taking 3-0, and it's 3-1. Chris Tillman is just 21 years old. He is a native of Anaheim, California. 6'5", 195. And the 3-1. Thomas with 28 RBIs. 351 with men in scoring position. We showed you that stat at the top of the telecast and how Clete has more times than not been able to come through in situations like this. But at least his main role right now, advancing that runner to third at the very least. 3-2 pitch. He lost him, ball 4.
Let's take a look at the Orioles defense behind Tillman. It's presented by Honda Bloomfield. They've got some guys in the outfield that can really throw. They all have several assists. Markakis with the most. He has 11. Their infield is Wigginton at third. Mora not playing, and he usually does. He's only going to play a couple of days a week. It's Turridge at short. Roberts at second. Huff at first. Tillman is on the mound, and the very talented young catching phenom Matt Wieters behind the dish.
Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, making an early visit to the mound. Both pitching coaches busy early in this game. Verlander gave up 5 in the top of the first, and now his offense coming right back. 2 on, nobody out, a run in, and Miguel Cabrera comes strolling in.
A lot of times after that pitching coach makes a visit real early in a game and you've just walked a hitter, if you're Cabrera, you have to be sitting dead red, which would be the fastball, and if you get it, you may as well take a real good swing at it. Cabrera loves to swing at the first pitch anyway.
That one bounced in, gets away from Wieters. The runners will try and advance, throw to second, not in time, and a wild pitch.
Good heads-up base running. They did not give him the fastball. Polanco being on second base for the second consecutive hitter. He knows what the signs are, so he anticipates the breaking ball being down. He gets a good jump. Cleat has to wait momentarily to see where the Polanco's going. Then once he sees Polanco's taken off, he's able to get to second. That's why Wieters threw down to second base. He felt like he had a better chance of getting Thomas.
1-0 on Cabrera. Driven toward left field. It is down. It's a base hit and more. This will get 2 runs in. Cabrera is on his way to second base, and the Tigers come roaring back. It's a 5-3 game.
The Tigers know they've got Verlander on the mound. They know more often than not Verlander has been lights out. What a better way to reward an outstanding pitcher by coming out after he's given up 5 and get 3. Look like back-to-back breaking balls here, or something soft that allowed Cabrera to reach out with one hand and drive in a couple more runs here in the first.
Cabrera now with an even 60 RBIs. Verlander hopefully able to shake off that first inning. Now the tying run coming to the plate with nobody out. Tillman was spotted a 5-run lead, but he is in trouble here in the bottom of the first.
Their bullpen not in real good shape either. They had to log a lot of innings on that last 7-game homestand that Baltimore just completed. As a matter of fact, the relievers pitched more innings than their starters did the last 7 days.
That's not good.
News.
That's not
news.
That's far less than ideal, isn't it?
That is not good.
0-1 on Carlos Guillen. High fly ball in a shallow left. Charging is Reimold. That's the first out recorded. 1 gone. This pretty much says it all, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, that's where they rank all season, their starters. I also brought up the point that they've used a lot of kids that weren't expected to be in the big leagues this early. But some of the veterans they signed in the offseason to, kind of help them out until the kids got ready just had not produced. Therefore, Dave Trimley, their manager, having to use a lot of young kids that aren't quite ready to pitch in the major leagues.
Which describes perhaps tomorrow night's scheduled starter, Brian Mattis, who is supposed to take Bergeson's spot. Bergeson was injured recently, and they are supposed to call him up to pitch tomorrow.
He was their #1 pick just last year.
Marcus Thames, the batter. Tillman, we mentioned, just 21 years old. He was acquired in the Eric Bedard deal back in February of 2008, so he came over along with Adam Jones, George Sherrill, who has since moved on. Two and one. Well, Marcus 0 for 9 in the series against the Cleveland Indians. He's trying to get it going. The average at 257. Looking to pick up Cabrera, who has doubled in 2 runs here in the first. to left field and right at Reimold for the second out. Hit it hard, but straight at him. Two gone.
That's why it's very important for Carlos Guillen to somehow get Cabrera over to third base. There was nobody out at the time when Guillen was up, but he did not get him over, flying out to left field. Therefore, that's not a sac fly. And it may not have been a sac fly anyway, because the ball was hit like a bullet. And Reimold has a right fielder's arm in left field.
So a 2-out chance for Brandon Inge. Inge surrendered the team lead in RBIs. Cabrera now has it with his 2-run double. Miguel has knocked in 60. Brandon now has knocked in 59. The 0-1. Tillman's 1-1 pitch is on the ground to the shortstop, gobbled up there by his Turris. And that's that for the Tigers. But they come right back, score 3 times to make it a 5-3 game. Standing the test of time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. On demand from Comcast, a variety of entertainment for much less than a night out at the movies. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. I'm thinking slugfest so far tonight. 8 runs have scored in the first inning. 5-3 in favor of the Orioles. They'll send Brian Roberts out there to the second, facing Justin Verlander. Roberts, Reimold, and Jones. It was Roberts that got the party started with a leadoff home run in the first inning. Meanwhile, Chris Tillman surrendered 3 to the Tigers offense. Having a chat with his battery mate, Matt Wieters. Fastball rides up and in. 1-2 on Brian Roberts. 7-game hit streak for the Orioles leadoff man.
He's a good player. A lot of people don't know a whole lot about Brian Roberts. That's because Baltimore very seldom plays on national TV. In their division, they're always at the bottom. Yeah, but they got a real good leadoff hitter in Roberts.
Ooh, off speed, and it just missed.
Switch hitter with some speed, occasional power. And hits tons of doubles. 37 of them.
Breaking ball fouled away. He is second, or actually leads the American League with 37 doubles.
Yeah. Good player.
But you're right. I mean, not so many people really talk about this guy. And there's another base hit as he rips it into right. Verlander now has given up 7 hits.
Well, one of the reasons why JV has given up quite a few hits is his location hasn't been good early. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Looks like a fastball right down the middle. We told you that Robertson's got some bat speed, and this is what Robertson did back in the first. He got a fastball up, but look at all the pitches here that Justin's throwing in the first inning. They're getting way too much plate. The location may be down or up, but it's a lot of plate, and that's why he gave up that 5 spots in the first inning.
Here's Nolan Reimold. 95-mile-an-hour fastball that time from Justin. Reimold singled against him back in the first.
And Roberts, more than likely, it won't stay at first base very long, even though it's tough to run on this combination. He's got 20 steals. But Laird has been the best catcher at throwing out would-be base stealers in the American League.
It's our good buddy Juan Samuel.
What a tremendous individual he is. Great man is Juan.
Roberts back. Roberts has been caught just 5 times with his 20 stolen bases.
He's got the green light over there too. He just has not run a whole lot this year.
Ooh, looked like he was going. He took 2 or 3 steps, then stopped.
Had he been going, he may have been able to steal that base standing up. G Money getting it done behind the dish. He's thrown out 22 of 53. Good for 42%. That leads the majors.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Nolan Reimold, who has moved himself into the Rookie of the Year conversation with a couple of months to go, but he's done so by hitting .370 since the All-Star break.
He's got some pop in his bat. He's a pretty big boy too.
Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Mike Everett brings him up. And that is the first strikeout of the game for Verlander.
The center fielder, Adam Jones.
See if the wrist break. Yep, he sure did.
Here's Adam Jones. Jones 1 for 1.
Talking to Jones during batting practice today, and of course he was an all-star this year and drove in the winning run in the all-star game. He drove in our very own Curtis Granderson, and I was asking him, what was your most memorable moment from the all-star game this year? And he said Obama was cool. It was great shaking his hand. But he said getting high fives from his teammates after the game as they walked off the field with another win for the American League, he said was the highlight of his time in St. Louis. He said he'll never get a chance to high five that many superstars again.
Boy, isn't that true? But isn't it interesting that that would be his #1 memory?
This is exactly what he said. High fiving all the guys after the game.
It's not often you get a chance to shake the president's hand. I mean, very few people get that opportunity, but then again, very few people knock in the winning run of the All-Star game either. And he is really starting to blossom as a hitter now. His power numbers are up this year. Wave and a miss. Verlander carved him up there, and back-to-back strikeouts for Justin.
He's thrown a couple of real good breaking balls here in the second inning. He struck Reimold out on a good breaking ball, and that was a nasty one as well to Jones. That pitch was not that good in the first inning. Did not have that kind of depth. As I told you earlier, if you don't get Verlander early, and they did get him early, they got 5 off him, but that may be all they get today.
Runner going. Here comes the throw. It's on target. Out at second base. Roberts.
What a jump he had, and what a throw by Laird.
Laird put it right on the money, and Brian Roberts is out. And Gerald Laird just threw out Brian Roberts. Now he'll start things off in the home half of the second. Laird and then Santiago and Curtis Granderson. Glad to have you with us tonight on a great night for baseball here in the Motor City. 80 degrees at game time, and we started this thing off with a bang. The Orioles got 5, the Tigers got 3. Gerald batting .229. Tillman's 1-0. Breaking ball is a little bit outside. Looked pretty good, but a tad off the plate.
Gerald might get himself a couple of hits today. I've already recognized in the 3 pitches that he's taken that he's getting that front foot down, in which he was not getting down over the weekend in Cleveland, which caused his swing to be real long. As a hitter, if that front foot is still in the air as the ball is on its way to home plate, it's very tough for you to catch up to good fastballs. Here's a 2-1 pitch. You can see that foot's down. It's firm, which gives you a lot more life in your bat. A lot more bat quickness. He got a good fastball to hit right there and missed it. And the big leaguers have to make adjustments from day to day.
Now the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
It also puts you in a better position to take pitches. He's just taking good pitches today, the way that he looks in the batter's box.
Fouled straight back. That would have been a direct hit.
Oh, brother.
Is that, in 7 years, that's as close as we've come.
Yeah. It was on your side. Yeah. I think it was on your side.
Thanks for all the help, by the way.
Hey, what do you want me to do?
I want you to dive in front of me. You're the big leaguer. Strike called on Laird. 1 away.
Hey, let's take a look at this pitch that Roberts was running on. This wasn't a pitch out per se, but it was almost like a pitch out. He didn't really put down a sign. He asked for the fastball. He just kind of slides out there and throws the ball down to second. Nice pick here by Santiago, applying the tag to Roberts, who got a great jump. Wasn't a pitch out, but it acted and looked almost like a pitch out.
Here's Santiago. Right down the middle it comes. 0-1 on Ramon.
It amazes me the way that Laird continues to throw the baseball this year.
Well, he came in as a guy that had a decent reputation as someone that could throw. We knew he was a very good defensive player, but he's kind of taken it to the next level. He has really done an outstanding job behind the plate. Since 03, he's been at about 38%.
So it's no fluke.
No. Swing and a miss, and Santiago is out of there.
They say that Tillman's got a really nice breaking ball with some nice tilt to it. In his first start 5 days ago against Kansas City, he did not have that pitch, and therefore only pitched into the 5th. Also, he was going up against Zach Greinke, another talented starter in the American League. How about that for your first 2 big league starts, Greinke and Verlander?
Well, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
And they say that he would have gotten Halladay in his next start if Toronto did not have a day off today.
Really?
Yeah. Welcome to the big leagues, son.
Well, he has settled in nicely after giving up the 3 first-inning runs. Granderson got it started for the Tigers with a triple in the first inning, and here we are, the first week of August here, and that triple was the 5th of the year for Curtis. We're just so used to seeing him with many more of those 3 base hits, but his home run totals at 22. Kind of an odd year for Granderson.
1 more stolen base, and he'll have 20 stolen bases to go along with those 22 home runs, which will make him the 3rd Tiger to do it multiple times. Kirk Gibson has done it 4 times. Alan Trammell has done it twice. That's rare company.
Popped him up. Shallow left field. And the shortstop is Turris. Tigers are out 1-2-3. 2 in the books. 5-3 Orioles. By the way, I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but tonight's game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. A little bit of a windy night here at the ballpark. Winds gusting to 21 miles per hour, we are told. I guess that's kind of windy, huh? 80 degrees, though. There was some rain in the area. It has moved out, fortunately.
Nice change piece there by Verlander.
Nick Markakis leading it off. Markakis, Huff, and Wigginton.
Looks like Verlander's made a little bit of an adjustment as to how he wants to attack these Baltimore hitters.
Off speed again, 0-2.
He's got a legitimate swing and miss changeup. 2 in a row to Markakis. Apparently, Baltimore came out looking for lots of fastballs, which is what you should do against a guy like Verlander.
Good hook. See you later. 3 straight strikeouts for Verlander.
Well, he's got it rolling now. 2 change pieces in a nasty curveball.
Here comes Aubrey Huff. Huff knocked in a run with a fielder's choice ground ball in the first. That 5-run first inning was highlighted by 6 hits. The home run by Roberts started the game. Verlander has since straightened it out, though. Changeup missing high, 1-1. Not too many guys coming into this game had good numbers on this Orioles team against Verlander. That didn't seem to matter, though, in the first inning. Justin had a 1.85 lifetime ERA against the O's coming in. Sounded like a broken bat into center field. Another hit. Aubrey Huff with a broken bat single.
Hey fans, Saturday afternoons were made for baseball, and this week the Red Sox travel to the Bronx to take on the Yankees in a renewal of their longtime rival. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station. The Yankees have not beaten the Boston Red Sox this year. They have lost 8 straight games to the Boston Red Sox.
And that Yankees lineup is no joke.
No. Boston's lineup just got a whole lot better, though. With Victor Martinez, he had 5 hits yesterday against this Baltimore Orioles team.
Ty Wigginton, the batter, pops it up. Right side of the infield. Polanco calling off Cabrera. 2 gone. And as Luke Scott rolls in, here's our text poll question tonight. Text A, B, C, or D to 37338. Which opposing player seems to always play his best against the Tigers? Luke Scott, Joe Crady, Jim Thome, Jermaine Dye.
Good question tonight.
You could probably pick all of them.
Yeah, you could. They all do a lot of damage and have done some damage against Tigers pitching in the past.
Scott takes low.
You've got to get Scott out with fastballs above the belt buckle. Yeah, he loves the ball down, and he does a lot of damage when the ball's down. Yeah, but when the Tigers have been able to get him out, they've climbed the ladder on him, and they get him to swing at the fastballs up.
Scott had a double which knocked in 2 back in the first. He's hit safely in 5 in a row, and we talked about the fact that he's been scuffling on Thursday. He snapped an 0 for 15 slump. Banged that one off his foot. Two and one.
Got out in front of a fastball, hit it right off the big toe, looked like.
Scott now has 23 RBIs in a little over 11 games career against Detroit. Just amazing numbers. He had that home run binge going back in May against the Tigers. He's hit 18 overall this year. Run it to 3-1. He's up to 513 now. It's got to be tough for a guy like Scott or any guy coming up to the trading deadline who sees his name pretty much in the papers every day, is possibly going here, possibly going there. August at least allows players to relax a little bit that aren't moved.
Well, here's some of those home runs. And this was in one series.
He was putting on a show. Runner going. And ball 4.
You bring up a great point talking about how difficult it is for some players to hear their name constantly being mentioned in trade talks. But if you're Scott, you probably would have enjoyed going from a last place club to probably a team that's in contention.
Yeah, and Jared Washburn said as much. He wasn't coming from a last place team, but he was coming from a team that probably wasn't going to the playoffs, and now smack dab in the middle of a playoff race.
Now, when you get traded from a good team to a team that's not going anywhere, that could be real tough.
Washburn makes his Tigers debut tomorrow against this Orioles team. Jared was saying today that slowly but surely he's getting to know his new teammates. He did say that when he got to Cleveland to join his new team, the Tigers, as you look at his season numbers, he said, I felt like a rookie all over again because I just didn't know anybody. And having spent 12 years in the big leagues, that has to be an odd feeling. Chatting with the rookie right now, Rick Porcello. Line to left field. Here comes Marcus Thames, diving to make the catch. Thames hits the deck, rolls around, and holds on. Not this time. Second time Wieters has gone that way. Nice defensive play. The 20th, take advantage of the August double play. Get 2 upper box tickets for only $29 and 2 lower box seats for just $49. A savings of $15. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Another nice crowd here tonight with the Orioles in town. And it started with a bang, but it has slowed down a little bit. Somebody celebrating birthday there? Happy birthday. I don't see a number on it, though. Tillman back to work, delivers a breaking ball up high to Placido Polanco. He'll be followed by Clee Thomas and then Miguel Cabrera. 5-3, Orioles lead. They've out-hit the Tigers 8-3. The 1-0. Pretty good breaking ball right there.
Yeah, he's found it. He's thrown several good ones in this game already. He was a good pitcher last year in Double-A in Bowie. 11-4 with an earned run average just a shade over 3. And of course, Wieters was in Double-A last year, so these two know each other.
And he's also been a guy in the minor leagues that has struck out more than one per inning. 154 strikeouts last year at Double-A, 135 innings. 3 balls, 1 strike. Out of Anaheim, California, was Southern California's top high school prospect in 2006, and that's saying something because that area will produce a lot of good baseball players. Now the 3-1. Walked him. Leadoff man is on. So Polanco is aboard. That is the second walk given up by Tillman. Here is Clete Thomas, who has the other walk, and he scored back in the first. Tigers got back into this one with the RBI double by Polanco in the first inning. 2-run double by Miguel Cabrera. That's on the ground to second base. Should be 2. They'll flip to second one. Is Turris not in time? Thomas beats it out. A little bit too fast down the line, especially coming out of that left side of the batter's box.
Slow developing double play for Roberts. It looked like the ball came up on him, and by the time he shuffled the ball to his Turris, that allowed Thomas to take a few extra steps to beat the throw.
Here comes Cabrera. Well, Miguel came through with a big 2-run double in the first inning, taking over the team lead with 60 RBIs. 5 hits in the Cleveland series. Verlander gave up 5 in the first. Teammates got him 3 back. The 1-0. Tillman falls behind. He had committed to go to college at Cal State Fullerton, just down the road from where he grew up, but signed with the Seattle Mariners. He was a second-round choice, high draft pick, decided to forego college. Now it's 3-1. Twenty-one-year-old. We talked about the fact that tomorrow's starter, Brian Mattis, he's only 22. That shot down the right field line. It is slicing back into the seats. 3-2 on Miguel Cabrera. So we'll see if the Tigers want to start the runner here with 1 out. Jim Leyland tried to play a little bit more aggressively in that game in Cleveland yesterday, but he fell behind so early by a lot. And Thomas is going on 3-2, hit back up the middle. What a play by Roberts. He'll have only one play, and that's to get Cabrera, but what a scoop at second base by Brian Roberts.
That's why if you're Clete Thomas in that situation, you act as if you're stealing the base, not just trying to stay out of a double play. And because he got such a great jump from first, there was no play for Roberts after making a sensational snag of this absolute bullet off the bat of Cabrera. He was headed to the bag to cover, had to redirect and stop, and made a real nice play.
Scoring position now for Cleet Thomas, and trying to knock him home is Carlos Guillen. Didn't go around. 1 ball to no strikes on Carlos, who lined to left field his first time up. $14 RBIs for Guillen. Didn't have a particularly good series against Cleveland, just 1 for 11. Carlos, though, in his career has pounded Orioles pitching. 358 lifetime.
Carlos still kind of going through spring training. Has not had a whole lot of at-bats since coming off the disabled list, and did not have a lot of at-bats when he went down to rehab before they recalled him. And usually it's no problem for guys to hit the fastball, but it's a little bit more difficult when guys are throwing you breaking balls and changeups. You just don't have your timing yet.
Well, Guillen has hit a couple of home runs since returning. Sends that one high in the air into deep right field. Markakis up against the wall to make the catch.
He just missed that.
So the Tigers almost tied it up. End of 3, 5-3. Fame. This date, 3 players got into the Hall of Fame. Can you name them? And we will name them for you in the bottom of the 4th inning. In the meantime, Verlander back to work. Cesar Izturis leads it off and takes strike 1. Izturis, Roberts, and Reimold. That'll head back toward the seats, out of play. 0-2 on Izturis, who bounced out to end that harrowing first inning in which the Orioles scored 5 times. Cesar is the older brother of Meiser Izturis, who plays for the Los Angeles Angels. Ooh, missed it inside. 1-2.
It's a couple of pitches that Verlander has thrown today that he thought were strikes, and C.B. Buckner did not give him the call on.
Slap toward left. Marcus has gotten a lot of balls out there already. And there's another fly ball out. Bring up Brian Roberts. Home run and a single for their leadoff man, who just continues to have a solid season year after year. In fact, with his 20 stolen bases this year, Roberts has gone 7 straight years of 20 or more. Verlander in the ball game with 3 strikeouts. He fanned 3 in a row. And he has had some big strikeout games. Here's the 0-1. Popped up behind the plate. And it'll find the seats. Verlander, of course, struck out 13 in his last start against Texas, which equaled his career high. In fact, he's done that twice this year. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of the changeup.
Oh, brother.
4 strikeouts for Verlander.
When you got 96, 97 with the fastball in your back pocket and you throw this pitch from that same arm slot with the same arm speed, you're going to get some swings like that. And we've already seen a few of those swings today by Baltimore hitters.
Justin has a healthy lead in the strikeout race in the American League. He came in with 172. Greinke at 153.
Greinke pitched today against the Tampa Bay Rays and did not pitch very well. Gave up double-digit hits today, did Greinke, for the first time all year.
Really?
Yeah. Only pitched 5 innings.
Ground ball to short. Santiago to his left. And that's going to be an easy 1-2-3 inning for Verlander. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 4th. On this day in 1980, which 3 players were inducted into the Hall of Fame? The answer is Al Kaline was one of them. Duke Snider and Chuck Klein. Mr. Kaline went in on this day, and of course is immortalized here with the statue at Comerica Park, number 6. Marcus Thames starting it off for Detroit as we play in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Al Kaline. Always see him in the locker room before the game, talking to players.
On the field, watching batting practice.
Pulled on the ground and through. It's a base hit for Marcus Thames.
And for you young folk out there that do not know a whole lot about Al Kaline, here's a little bit of what he was able to do in a Tigers uniform. The only uniform he wore. He was making all-star team year after year, winning Gold Glove every single year. What a talent.
Great footage of Al Kaline, born in Baltimore, and every time we go to Baltimore, we're able to talk with Mr. Tiger about growing up there. Brandon Inge with a bounce out back in the first. Breaking ball, and Tillman continues to throw that curveball.
So if you're Marcus Timms on first base, you're not a base stealer by trade. But because of what you just said, the fact that Tillman's thrown so many breaking balls when you're on first, you have to anticipate one of them bouncing, and if it does, you have to get down to second base.
Well, right on cue. And Marcus Timms gets to second base.
Sometimes you get lucky in this business.
I don't think so. That's knowing the situation, and Wieters unable to block it and put a man in scoring position.
He's got a lot of depth to that breaking ball. Wieters a little slow with his footwork getting over there. When you call for that pitch, you got to anticipate that it's going to bounce, and he was just a little slow shifting the body to get over, but he is a big boy. Wieters is about 6'5". Most catchers are not that tall.
Wild pitch, his second of the game. 2-1 pitch. 2-2 on Brandon.
That's a good pitch right there. For a young kid, just 21 years old, in the big leagues, 2-1 count. You know, in the minor leagues, he was throwing fastballs right there. But he threw a changeup there to Brandon Inge. And all Inge could do was watch it go by. Good pitch by the kid.
Fill it now at 3-2. Gerald Laird waiting on deck. Tigers one swing of the bat away from tying this thing up. They trailed 5-0 at one point. In fact, 5-0 after a half inning of play tonight. And Wieters now back out to the mound to talk with Chris Tillman.
Wieters has learned a lot from the veteran catcher that they have on their roster, Greg Zahn. And Greg Zahn has caught in the big leagues a long time. Switch hitting catcher. And he's kind of taken the youngster Wieters under his wing and has tried to teach him as much as he knows, which is quite a bit,
I would imagine. Ground ball to third. On one hop, Wigginton checks the runner. Inge is 0 for 2.
Greg Zahn, also the nephew of longtime Baltimore Oriole catcher Rick Dempsey. So he's got a lot of catching experience and knowledge, and has played some really good baseball lately. He's limber too.
Apparently so. He's practicing against Pilates there. He's limber. It's a ball down low to Gerald Laird. Laird struck out back in the second inning.
I still think G Money gonna get him 1 or 2 today.
Popped him up. The wind is playing with this one a little bit as Reimold comes in, and Marcus again going nowhere as he is anchored at second base. 2 gone.
The shortstop,
That's one thing about the big leagues. Now, here's a fastball that's basically right down the middle. But as a hitter, you still have to hit it. I mean, you couldn't have put it on a tee any better than that.
No.
You know, sometimes they talk about guys making, bad pitches and getting away with it. Sometimes you can make a really bad pitch and get away with it, as he did there. And Laird, all he could do is shake it. He's like, I don't know what happened there.
So is that mechanical, or did he just miss that?
No, he
pitch?
just missed that. Now, he's in a pretty good position today.
Runner heading to third on a ball that gets away from Wieters, and Marcus goes in there standing up.
Another wild pitch. No, Gerald saw that fastball, and he had a good swing at it. He just got underneath it. This breaking ball is just a real wicked pitch.
Wieters didn't locate it quickly enough. I don't think he thought Marcus was going anywhere. Third wild pitch. Santiago trying to get this run in. Ramon Fan back in the second. Starting at short in this game for Detroit. And another one that gets away from Wieters, but he was able to smother it. 2-1. Tillman, since giving up that 3 in the first, has given up just a walk and a single the rest of the way. Verlander gave up 5, all of them in the first inning. Driven in the air to center, base hit. That'll get the run in. Santiago with a clutch 2-out RBI hit. His 28th RBI of the year. It's 5-4.
Very patient at bat by Santiago. He pretty much was getting changeups and breaking balls from Tillman. He finally got the fastball he was looking for and just put a real good swing on it. Body's in real good control. Head down on the baseball. You can't draw it up any better than that right there for you young kids at home that have a desire of playing big league baseball.
There just haven't been too many of those 2-out hits scoring runs for the Tigers in recent times. They are back to within 1. Granderson had a triple in the first inning and scored. Santiago drawing another throw. Granderson came in a .330 career hitter against Orioles pitching. He's got the tying run at first base with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. Strike call. Up and in on Granderson. 1-1. Did he check it? No, he didn't. C.B. Buckner calling that one a strike. 1-2.
If you're Santiago, you can run now. There's 2 strikes on Granderson, and Tillman has proven that he will throw lots of breaking balls and changeups in this count. And even if you do get thrown out for the 3rd out, you've got Granderson, the leadoff hitter, leading off next half inning.
High fly ball deep into right field. Markakis on the move to the wall to haul it in. Granderson gave it a ride. Tigers settle for 1 run. A little bit closer now. 5-4. This was a wild start. Both pitchers have really settled into this one. We figured Verlander would, but that 5-run first inning the Orioles got against him was somewhat stunning tonight.
Well, give the Orioles some credit. They came out with a game plan against Verlander. They were attacking fastballs early and often. He made a few mistakes in the strike zone, and they put up 5 runs against him.
You've seen some signs now from the Tigers' offense of breaking out a little bit because they really struggle to get runs in Cleveland.
Well, they really don't have any problem playing here at Comerica Park, but they do struggle on the road. But it's just nice to see them come back to score 4 runs against the youngster Tillman after falling behind by 5. So that's a real good sign.
Yeah, the Tigers came in 15 games over the 500 mark at home and hopefully trying to better their record here with 7 straight at home. That pitch is sailed in the air to shallow right center. Granderson coming over to make the catch. And Jones is out, 1 gone in the 5th. So Verlander continues to cruise along. He has given up 5 runs on 8 hits so far tonight. Last time he gave up 5 runs, it was against Kansas City on July the 11th. Here's Nick Markakis. Markakis a single and a strikeout. We're talking about his arm. He has 11 outfield assists, which tied for the major league lead. Pulled on the ground to second base and a scoop by Polanco. 2 outs. Well, it's almost that time of year again. Everything you do about fantasy football is about to change. Introducing the all-new Fox Fantasy Football with more customizable features and new ways to play. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Join the next generation of fantasy football. 2 gone for Aubrey Huff. Huff tonight has an RBI and a hit. 1 for 2. Little pop up, shallow left center. It's going to drop. 2 out single.
A little duck snark there by Huff.
Third baseman Ty Wiggins.
How does Verlander's pitch count look here today? Not too bad. 75 total. He's throwing quite a few strikes. 53 strikes, 22 balls.
Ty Wigginton hits the first pitch in the air to shallow right. Thomas comes charging in. And a quick inning for Verlander. They'll strand a man. You're watching Tigers baseball at Fox Sports Detroit, brought to you by Bell Time. Stand by wall side windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Back here in the Motor City, downtown Detroit, Comerica Park, the site tonight. A busy first inning since the Tigers have gotten one to cut it to 5-4. So we're going back to work now against the right-hander Chris Tillman. Polanco, Thomas, and Cabrera in the Tigers' fifth inning. First pitch swinging, drills one to center. Jones is there. Placido is out. First time they've retired him tonight. Here's Clete Thomas. Well, for as impressed as we've been with Verlander for kind of settling into this one and holding the Orioles since that first inning, Tillman hasn't really done all that badly.
He's got good stuff. He's got a fastball anywhere from 90 to 95. He's got a really good curveball. I mean, an outstanding curveball. It looks like his changeup is his third best pitch, but that's usually the case with real young pitchers, especially young pitchers that have real good fastballs that have allowed them to pretty much use those through high school and in their first few years of professional baseball.
There was that curveball again. 1-1. Drops in another.
He hadn't even filled out yet. He's a tall, slender kid. He doesn't even weigh 200 pounds yet. But once he fills out, he may add a couple more miles per hour to that fastball. Baltimore feels real good about the young pitching they have. They got some kids that are pitching at this level that probably shouldn't be here, but it's a nice learning experience.
Swing and a miss. Thomas out of there.
Take that, Rod. Said my changeup wasn't that good.
Good enough for my third strikeout.
I'll show you. This is a good one, too. You see the grip. Circle change. Changeup is such a good pitch. And you really don't have to throw it for a strike either. All you have to do is have confidence in throwing it up there and keeping it down, hoping to get some swings and misses.
High drive. Deep right center field off the bat of Cabrera. Way back, and that ball is gone. It's a home run for Miguel Cabrera, and we are tied at 5.
Look out, big fella.
He has had some big hits tonight. '21st home run.
He loves to swing at the first pitch. He gets a fastball down, gets inside out of it, and hits a bullet to right center field. He hits the ball in that direction like he's a left-handed swinger. It's a long, long way from home plate.
And one of the first guys to greet him was Justin Verlander. 401 feet. Five game.
We talked about Cabrera in our open today and the fact that he hit and was hitting .394 here at Comerica Park this season. But that's going to go up a tick because he has 2 hits in this game.
Breaking ball is swung on and missed. 0-2 on Guillen.
One of the things Cabrera did last year for the Tigers, even though they did not have a good season as a team, he was one of the best hitters in the league the second half of the year. He had 21 home runs second half last year, did Cabrera.
Yeah, and I guess he had to hit a ton because he won the home run championship after that slow start in the month of April. So perhaps heating up right now for the final stretch run here, the final 2 months. Bouncing ball left side, it's through. Carlos has a base hit. Well, one of the good things about tonight's game is the Tigers have gotten a couple of 2-out runs. The RBI single by Santiago in the 4th and the home run here in the 5th by Cabrera.
You know, we talked about Carlos having that tender right shoulder, but he has no problem on balls that are down. Balls that are down, really all he does, whether they're inside or outside, is drop the bat head. And he's gotten a few hits on balls that have been down below the waist. Struggling still a little bit on balls that are up. Marcus has hit 2 bullets in this game, one for an out and one for a single.
Marcus came around to score that 2-out run in the 4th. Go-ahead run is on for Detroit after falling behind 5-0. We're all tied up. High fly ball. Center field, Adam Jones to retire the side. Tigers tie it up. Cabrera better than 400 feet.
Thousand fans receive a poster featuring the 2009 Tigers All-Stars. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to Tigers.com.
Good looking poster.
That it is.
The 4 Tigers All-Stars this year. Well, it's a 5-5 game now. Here come the Orioles in a diving play at first base. Verlander covers and gets to the bag. What a play by Cabrera.
That's a good athletic play on both parts. Cabrera. He's getting better and better at that first base position, that is for sure. 2 steps and a dive, he nabs it. Look at the angle he takes towards second base. That's the only way that he gets it. Not a great throw to Verlander, but Verlander has to stop in his tracks, back up, grab it, and then get to the bag. And that's a good athlete there on both parts. Good athletic play, I should say.
Verlander and Cabrera hooking up on a defensive gem. Here's Matt Wieters. There's a strike, 1-1 on Wieters. Now it's 3-1. Against one of the top overall prospects in the minor leagues, Matt Wieters. Rolled foul. Driven in the air toward left, hit pretty well. Thames on the run. Marcus holds on to it. He lost his glove. Oh, goodness. When's the last time you saw that? Now that was interesting. They all want to see it on the replay.
Did he lose the glove?
I think it came off his hand
before he caught it.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. No, I think it just came off after he caught it. You might be able to tell here. Two outs.
Good grab nonetheless.
He's gotten a lot of plays out there tonight. A ton of them. Here's this Turris. Fastball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away. Is Turris 0 for 2, ground out, fly out. Verlander, since giving up the 5 runs in the first inning, has given up just 2 hits the rest of the way. Actually 3 hits, all singles. Roberts, Huff. In fact, Huff twice. But none of them have scored. And is Turris hanging tough?
Verlander made a nice adjustment after that first inning. It was very apparent that they were going to come out and they were going to swing at a lot of his fastballs. And before he knew it, they had 5 runs on the board. He's gone to a lot more of these pitches the last few innings, and the Orioles really have not been able to do anything with him.
The 2-2. Fouled straight back. This Turris trying to keep it going for Roberts, who's waiting on deck. And a ground ball foul, first base side. Good crowd again here tonight. 27,857 souvenir for that guy. First day back, the homestand. Orioles in town to start this homestand. Swing and a miss. There goes the bat. Speed struck him out. A 1-2-3 inning. One of those outs. Marcus Thames lost his glove, held on to it.
In this game, first it's Laird to Santiago, and then you got Thames making one of 2 real nice plays. Cabrera gets into the act with a real nice feed to Verlander to get an out. And then it's Thames once again losing his glove and also making the play with a huge smile on his face. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Bottom of the 6th inning in a 5-5 game. Inge, Laird, and Santiago, bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup. Tillman's still out there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tillman was ranked by Baseball America as their second best prospect in the minor leagues, behind Matt Wieters, who was ranked number 1 overall. And so they are forming the battery here tonight at Comerica Park. The young catcher, the young pitcher, part of the future that the Orioles hope will be bright. Inge 0 for 2, couple of ground balls. There's that hook again. Boy, is that a good pitch.
And where he's locating the breaking ball, they're unhittable. He has not really hung the breaking ball today. He's either bounced it, he's thrown a few wild pitches with it because he has such great tilt with it, but he has not left a lot of them up in the strike zone. Therefore, he has not been hurt on that pitch.
Now Gerald Laird, 0 for 2. Strikeout, fly out. Popped up the bunt. There are too many catchers that have the ability, if they're struggling with the bat, to have the confidence and or the speed to lay down a bunt, give themselves a base hit. But that's always been part of Gerald's game. Runs the base as well. He's down here 0-2, so the third baseman Wigginton is back.
Wigginton getting most of the playing time these days at third base for the Baltimore Orioles. Melvin Mora not playing as much. And Melvin not really happy about the fact that he's a platoon player now.
Popped him up. Shallow left field. Reimold is there. It's 2 gone.
I guess he and the manager Dave Tremblay, they talked today and they agreed to disagree, and that he will play 2 to 3 times a week, or until he starts to hit a little bit better. His numbers are way down this year.
Boy, are they.
Yeah, but you can understand why Melvin's upset. You want to play every single day, and if you're Dave Tremblay, the manager, you owe it to your club to put the best possible team on the field. And he feels like that's what he's doing right now.
Here's Santiago. Mora quietly, and I mean quietly, has been a very good player.
Well, that's probably why he said he feels disrespected. I mean, there are times when you do struggle at this game, and in this game, if you play it long enough, you're all going to struggle. But I guess he feels like the skipper doesn't have his back now that he's scuffling.
Mora knocked in 104 runs last year.
This is part of it.
3-0 on Santiago.
He'll get through it. And those are the tough decisions that managers have to make.
3-1.
Dave Tremblay did not play professional baseball, which is rare for him to be a manager at this level, but he's a real good communicator.
There's a walk. Santiago aboard for the 2nd time, and that is walk number 3 for the right-hander Tillman. .95 pitches for Tillman. Activity in their bullpen. Danny Baez warming up.
And last time Santiago was on first base after singling and driving in that 4th run for the Tigers. He did not attempt to steal the base. Let's see if he tries to get down to second this time around with 2 outs.
One ball, no strikes. I think that was actually Clay Meredith warming up, not Baez. It didn't look like Baez. The 1-0. 2-0 on Granderson. The Tigers have the go-ahead run on here. 2-out walk by the number 9 hitter, Santiago. Bounce to first, foul. Right by Van Slyke, who decides to play it like a soccer ball instead. And he could have picked that. That wasn't hit all that hard.
He could pick it when he played, that's for sure. When he had that glove on the left hand, he could pick it and he could grin. 5 gold gloves did Van Slyke win.
Apparently he never played goalie. The 2-1, or goalkeeper as they say in soccer. 2-2. Tigers responded with 3 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth to come back from a 5-0 deficit. Tigers 31-16 at home this year. They are 10 under on the road. Swing and a miss. And Granderson is out of there. 5 strikeouts for Tillman. Tigers leave a man. Roberts, Reimold, Jones in the 7th. Official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. You can browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps and t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. Get your Tigers gear straight from the source at the Tigers.com shop. Well, we are headed to the 7th inning. Tigers 5, Orioles 5 in the series opener here tonight at Comerica Park. Verlander's still out there here in the 7th after giving up 5 in the first inning. Nothing after that. Roberts has 2 hits. No balls, 2 strikes. It's a 4-game series here against the Orioles, and then Minnesota coming to town for 3. That's over the weekend. That'll be a great series.
Should be. Always is.
A little chin music there for Roberts, who bends out of the way. Home run and a single for Brian Roberts tonight, who's hit safely in 7 straight. Hooks a breaking ball foul. Wind is still howling here at the ballpark. Very windy night. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tillman has thrown 100 pitches. Verlander is getting there. Another foul back out of play. Justin at 98 pitches. Roberts earlier this year, back in May, played in his 1,000th big league game. Here comes the 100th pitch now from Verlander. Fouled off again.
And Roberts played for the United States in the World Baseball Classic this spring. And Dustin Pedroia had an injury and had to leave. And they called Roberts from spring training. And he went on to play well the remainder of the games they played in the World Baseball Classic.
He hit over 400. And it was 7 for 16 for Team USA. 2-2. This is turning into a 9-pitch at bat here, and here it is. And he got him to pop it up. Cabrera being called off. Polanco holds it in.
Best fastball of the night for Verlander, 97 miles an hour. And of course, he's gone as low as 77 and everything in between. And with a mixture of breaking balls, fastball. And Verlander also throwing a slider, but I really haven't noticed any sliders tonight.
I don't think so either. I've been kind of keeping an eye out for that pitch, but haven't seen any.
Andrew Jones took him deep on a slide piece his last start in Texas. He hung one to Andrew, and he got him. You think he's given up on it already?
I don't know.
You have to ask him. I was trying to talk to him about that slider in Texas, and he was not giving up any information at all.
What did he say?
I'm like, dude, this is sliders. I don't know what you're talking about, Rod. I'm like, okay. I was born, but I wasn't born yesterday.
That's fouled off. Trying to keep it a secret, is he?
Yeah, he was.
Bobby C. Ryan Perry.
Speaking of sliders, Ryan Perry's been throwing a lot. A better slider since going down to the minor leagues for a few weeks and working on that pitch. Verlander starting to throw hard as he does late in games. Starts out at about 93, 94. And then when he gets to the 7th, he's real loose. 98, 99.
That was nasty. 6 strikeouts. 2 gone.
The center fielder, Adam Jones.
We're talking about the strikeout leaders. Greinke struck out 9 in his game today, so he has 162. Verlander now has 178. Here's Adam Jones, 1 for 3. Tardy in the fastball, 0-1.
Adam Jones has got some bat quickness. Real good looking young player. An all-star for the first time. And they've got themselves a center fielder for the next 10 years.
You know, there were some that thought when that trade was made he was part of the Bedard trade. Most people thought this guy was going to be a star in the big leagues, but there were some scouts that felt that he was just going to be a good player. But when you look at his numbers, boy, is he progressing rapidly. Just 9 homers last year, 18 this year. With 2 months to go. Verlander got him that time. 7 strikeouts for Justin. A 1-2-3 inning. Polanco, Thomas, Cabrera coming up.
for game 2 of this series against the Orioles. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live. Tigers baseball presented by BAL Tire tomorrow evening on Fox Sports Detroit and on Fox Sports HD. Jared Washburn will make his debut for his new club, the Detroit Tigers, with a record of 8-6 and a tremendous earned run average that he was able to compile out in the Pacific Northwest.
And he'll be displaying his talents tomorrow night. Clay Meredith is in now in a wall-side windows pitching change.
Small sample, but good numbers for Meredith.
Came over in a deal with San Diego back on July the 19th, and his numbers there, he was 4-2 with a 4.17. Oh, 2 on Polanco. Thomas and then Cabrera here in the 7th. 5-5 game. Tigers trailed 5-0 at one point. Tillman went 6. Struck out 5 in his second big league game. That's in the air toward left, hit pretty good. Reimold will have room though. Right to the warning track he goes, 1 gone. Reimold just flicked that thing into the seats, or the bullpen area at least. Here's Clee Thomas. Thomas 0 for 2 with a walk.
We made the comment a couple of days ago, I believe we were in Texas, how we're starting to see more and more right-handers like Meredith that throw from this arm slot. It used to be an arm slot that you saw a lot of left-handers throw from, but more and more right-handers have adopted it and having success with it.
Only had success in San Diego.
Take a look at it here. Little 2-seam action most of the time. They kind of fades into the right-handers' happy zone and away from the left-handers. And the breaking balls don't have much tilt to them. They don't go north to south. They kind of go east to west in the strike zone when you're throwing from this angle.
Well, the Padres used him a lot in 07 and 08. He made the 9th most appearances in the National League in that span. That one is going to go foul again.
When you think about it, it's a more natural arm angle to throw from.
It would seem like
underneath. That's the way the arm was meant to go. Not up top like most of the guys throw at this level. Violently jerking your arm over your head 100 times a game. Ooh.
That was close. So it's 3-2. There's the big fella waiting on deck. He's had a big night, including the game-tying home run. And a bouncing ball left side, and the hole, the shortstop is Turris. Has to hurry. Save. Thomas beats it out.
That should be a base hit. That's what happens when you're an infielder and you know a guy's got some decent speed. Turris is a real good shortstop, but he knows that Thomas is getting down the line. Therefore, he does not make the exchange clean from the glove to the throwing hand. And by not doing so, Thomas gets himself an infield single.
Go-ahead run is on, and here comes Miguel Cabrera. Solo shot in the 5th inning. It came with 2 outs to tie the game at 5. His 21st home run of the year, which leaves him just 1 shy of the team lead. Granderson 22.
First pitch swinging last time he was up. off the rookie Tillman, got himself a fastball and crushed it.
Wow, how about his home average? 399. That's updated. On the ground, the shortstop is Turris. And he's out at second base. They called him out. Ball flipped out of the glove of Roberts. Jim Leland's going to come out to argue this.
Well, still give Cleat some credit for hustling down that line, because that's a tailor-made double play with Cabrera running down the line. But because Cleat got on top of him, Roberts could not get the ball back on its way.
Jim basically saying no. It wasn't on the exchange. Here's a close look at it.
It's a second ground ball in the game today. He did not have it.
No.
He did not have it.
Leland was right.
Did not have it.
Ball was clearly being juggled and bobbled.
It's the second time they should have turned a double play today against Detroit, and they did not do so.
So now with 2 outs, here is Carlos Guillen. Looked like he went around. C.B. Buckner made that call without any help. 0-1. Single back in the 5th for Guillen. Oh, and 2. Swing and a miss, and Meredith carves him up. Carlos is out of there, so are the Tigers. On to the 8th we go. Verlander back to the hill. He plays his best against the Tigers. Luke Scott, Joe Crady, Jim Thome, or Jermaine Dye, and Luke Scott has a very small lead.
I wouldn't disagree with that today.
Here's Nick Markakis. Verlander has gone out here in the 8th inning. After 110 pitches, he will answer the bell, facing Markakis, Huff, and Wigginton. 7 straight retired by the Tigers right-hander.
Jim trying to leave his right-hander out there long enough to get a win. And he's also helping get that bullpen back in shape after all of the guys in that bullpen pitched over the weekend in Cleveland quite a bit.
So Brandon Lyon there starting to heat up in the Tigers bullpen along with Bobby C.
Yeah, Bobby worked on Friday night in Cleveland and had Saturday and Sunday off because he threw 40 plus pitches in his outing.
Well, I know there have been nights in which Verlander has been much more effective and dominant, whichever word you want to use, but this is a pretty good outing tonight. After giving up 5 runs, he's absolutely slammed the door since.
Oh, he matured tonight. He really did. I mean, in the past.
See you later.
Starts like tonight, Verlander would have kind of given up more runs and wouldn't have stayed around long enough to do what he's doing right now, give his team a legitimate chance to win. But as you mentioned, after the 5 in the first, he has gotten his act in order.
Markakis becomes his 8th strikeout victim tonight. In fact, he's got Markakis twice. That's bounced right to Santiago, who had Aubrey Huff play perfectly. I mean, perfectly, right at him.
Huff had it in cruise control running down that line, too.
Yeah, he never got out of first gear.
Yeah, just cruising.
Two outs. 9 straight retired. The first 7 batters had 6 hits against Verlander tonight. The next 25 batters have picked up just 3. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Wigginton. 97 on the gun.
That's too big a swing for Wigginton. And when a guy is throwing as hard as Verlander, you do not have to swing with that much aggression. All you have to do is touch it. Verlander will supply a lot of the power.
On the ground is second. Verlander has a 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 10 straight. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, brought to you by Bell Tire. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Here's our Comerica Bank game summary tonight in a 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 8th. The Orioles had a big first inning. The Tigers have come marching back behind Cabrera and Verlander, who's been very good tonight.
Getting some high fives. He must be done.
And if that's the case, the Tigers need to get a run here if they want to get him a win. 119 pitches for Verlander. Here's Marcus Thames facing the new pitcher, Danny Baez. So Meredith goes 1 inning.
38th game this year for Baez. Comes in 4-4 with 6 holds. Earned run average a shade under 4.5.
Oh, 2. Thames, Inge, and Laird in the Tigers' 8th inning. Got him, strike 3. It took 3 pitches, and Baez strikes out Thames looking.
The third baseman, Brandon Inge.
There's Brandon Inge. 7 strikeouts for Orioles pitching tonight. 8 strikeouts for Verlander. Inge 0 for 3. Another breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Fouled away. Baez began his career with the Cleveland Indians back in 01. Won 10 games as a starter in 02. But he's been pitching strictly in relief since. Didn't go around. He's been with Tampa for a couple of years, Dodgers and Atlanta. 31 years old. He went around. Inge just trying to buckle out of the way, is called out by C.B. Buckner. A couple of strikeouts for Baez. Tried to hold it up, but he went around. Gerald Laird is 0 for 3. Broken bat, and it's going to drop. 2-out single. Well, the Tigers have their 9th hit. That's going to bring up Santiago, who had a 2-out RBI single in the 4th. Good crowd here tonight. Having some fun. 27,857.
Why not?
Laird has a couple of stolen bases. Weeder's down to block it. 1-0. Santiago trying to get it to the top of the order. Curtis Granderson on deck. He's ahead of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. There's a strike call. 2-1. Two and 2. Baez is in the 3rd year of his free agent contract he signed at the end of 06. And he misses high to run it full now. 3-2, which means Laird will get a head jump. Randy on deck. Runner going, and it's strike 3 called. Santiago is out on strikes. Baez strikes out the side. On our way to the 9th, Scott Weeders and his tourists coming up.
at Justin Verlander. And they got to Verlander for 5 runs in the first, but after that, he settled in with 9 strikeouts. It's our bell tire pitch by pitch. 8 of the strikeouts on breaking balls and changeups, 1 on a fastball, and his stuff was absolutely lethal. And I mean lethal after the first inning. It really wasn't that bad in the first inning. Baltimore just had a pretty good game plan today against Verlander early. But it was nice to see he and Laird and Rick Knapp make the necessary adjustments.
Boy, was it. We have some changes now for the Tigers. Ryan Rayburn is the new left fielder. Marcus Thames out of the game. So Rayburn bats in the 6th spot. And Fernando Rodney is in.
45th game now that Rodney has been in. He comes in with 1 win and 2 losses. He blew his first save of the year just a couple of days ago in Cleveland, but the team came back to win that game. All of his other numbers are really good.
So it's a 5-5 game. Numbers are equal across the board. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Luke Scott. Then Matt Wieters and Cesar Izturis, 7-8-9, facing the right-hander Fernando Rodney.
You'll see most managers do just as Jim has done here with his closer, put him in the 9th with the score tied. And because obviously there will be no save in this game for any Tigers pitcher. So you try to get 1, maybe 2 out of your closer and hope that your team can score in the bottom half of the 9th.
Scott has a 2-run double. 2 balls, no strikes. Now Luke Scott. Scott has been on base twice in this game, a walk and a 2-base hit. As he continues to add to his career numbers against Tigers pitching. 2-1. Three balls, 1 strike.
Jim Johnson warming up in the Baltimore bullpen. He's their new closer, with George Sherrill being traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Rolled foul. Fill it up now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 3-2. Scott battling Rodney here to start things off in the 9th inning. The Tigers, when we get to the bottom of the 9th, will have the top of the lineup. Swing and a miss. Rodney comes back to strike him out. 9 strikeouts for Tigers pitching.
It's one thing for guys like Verlander and also Rodney to have 95, 96 mile per hour fastballs, and they can go even higher than that. But it's a whole nother ball game when they can throw these types of pitches to get swings and misses, change-ups and breaking balls.
Change up in for strike 1. Matt Wieters is 0 for 3. The 0-1 pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wieters has put the ball in play to left field 3 times in this game. 0 for 3. Drills one. Right center field. Grandy on the run will get there. He can cover some ground, and Wieters is 0 for 4. That had the look of a gap shot off the bat. Had the sound of it too.
I wonder if the wind kind of knocked it down. There's some wind swirling up there, and I'm right there with you. When it left his bat, I didn't think Granderson was going to get there, but he almost overran it. Had to kind of slow down and come back to get it.
I think you're right. The wind is blowing from right to left, so it probably knocked it down. There's a bouncing ball to second. It's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Fernando Rodney. Nicely done. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Top of the order. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. So the Tigers come to the plate here in the bottom of the ninth in a 5-5 game. It'll be Curtis Granderson to lead it off, and then Placido Polanco and Cleet Thomas. Baez is still out there. He pitched the 8th inning, striking out the side, and now he will pitch here in the 9th. Curtis 1 for 4 with a triple his first time up. And he takes a strike, 1-1. He's faced only Baez only one time in his career, 0 for 1. That's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Granderson. Way high. 3-1.
I wonder if Granderson's entertaining the thought of taking a pitch here. 3-1, bottom of the ninth. It wouldn't be all bad to do so. That's ball 4 probably.
Got it, strike 3. Boy, Baez threaded the needle on the inside corner. He carved up Granderson. He got Santiago the same way back in the 8th. 1 out. And that's his 4th strikeout.
And apparently he's got some nice cut to that fastball, because we've seen quite a few guys not able to pull the trigger on the fastballs that Baez is throwing. He won't strike this guy out.
That looked inside. Polanco didn't agree. 0-1. Placido doubled in a run in the first, walked in the third. And there is strike 2. Uh-oh. You want to amend your prediction? I'm with you here. He's not going to strike him out. The 0-2 pitch.
And the reason I'm saying Granderson should have took that 3-1 pitch, I mean, that's what you do late in games. I mean, your leadoff hitter, the worst thing that could happen is if he throws that pitch for a strike, it's now 3-2.
That's low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Close.
And a bouncing ball to second. Easy for Roberts. 2 gone.
The right fielder,
Clete Thomas coming up. Tigers have 9 hits. So do the Orioles. 5-5 game. Oh, 0-1 on Clete. One ball, 1 strike. Clete has the power to take him deep and end this game. He has 6 homers in his limited time this year in the big leagues. Cabrera waiting on deck. It's going to head back toward the seats. Let's see if it gets there. It does. 1-2 on Clete Thomas, who is facing Baez for the first time in his career. Verlander gets a no decision tonight. Jared Washburn gets the start tomorrow night. Driven in the air to center field and hit well. Jones on the run, still going. It's gone! A game winner to dead center for Clete Thomas. He hit it out. Wow. Unbelievable. Better than 420 feet. That much power into the shrubs in center. What a feeling for Clete Thomas. His first career walk-off. And more than 27,000 fans will go home happy tonight.
Not sure exactly what it was. It was a fastball that was right around the belt buckle. Great concentration by Clete, and he hit that ball 425 feet on the line. Whoa! Look out, Clete.
And the bench erupts.
Big win. Big win.
The walk-off home run for Clete Thomas gives the Tigers a 6-5 win. Right now we check in with John Keating for a preview of Tigers Live. Keats.
All right, Mario, thanks. It's official. Once you get a look out, Clete, from Rod Allen, you know